Hello and welcome to the BB Armory Toys and Antiques channel. This is the BB Armourer, and today we have a video detailing the comparison of the two re-release 1966 TV series Batmobile that's been on offer from two companies, and we're just going to review the different types that are available. There are actually three versions that are available. I have the two and I'm awaiting the third one, which I'll explain in a minute. I just thought I'd give you a quick potted history of the Corgi brand, when it how it came about, and also oh, hang on a second, I've dropped something and I need to pick it up. Oh yeah, I had to move my table, that's why it got a bit shaky, sorry about that. But yeah, so we have to go all the way back to the turn of the century, sort of 1900s. Yeah, turn of the last century, yeah, 1900s. I believe it was a man called Frank Hornby, and part of his brand was he started a company called Meccano Limited. Whether you know this worldwide, I'm east of the pond. I think you had Meccano in the States and other countries. But anyway, he started a company called Meccano Limited, and from that he formed a few companies really. Obviously we had Meccano Toys, which was the engineering metal parts that you built, nuts and bolts and plates. And he had Hornby Trains. He started Hornby Trains as well. So they were the two companies running. Then in about 1933-34, he started, under the Meccano brand label, he started the Dinky Toys range. Now, there is a crossover, because at the same time, in a way, well, Metoy, which is an abbreviation of two words, Metal Toys, so they became Metoy. They started the Corgi brand in 1956. Now, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. Dinky was eventually bought by a company called Triangle Railways. They also purchased Hornby Trains. So Hornby and Dinky were owned by Triangle Railways. Now, when that company went bust, the Dinky side of it went to Matchbox, and they continued in a way because they became known as Hornby Railways. And today that company is known as Hornby Hobbies Limited. Okay, now at the same time, the Matchbox element was sold to Mattel of America, who still own the Dinky Toys brand. So there you can see the breakup. Triangle Railways went to Hornby Railways, Dinky went to Matchbox, then Mattel. Now at the same time we had Metoy with their Corgi. They went bust and went to Mattel. Now, Mattel sold them off and they became known as Corgi Classics Limited. And Corgi Classics Limited was purchased by Hornby Hobbies Limited. So you can see the two big British names in Corgi metal die-cast model cars are now owned by Hornby. Dinky Toys, sorry, my apologies. No, Mattel still owns Dinky Toys. Well, the point I'm trying to make is the oldest one, Dinky Toys, is owned by the American company Mattel. That in itself is another abbreviation of the two gentlemen that run that. Somebody called something Matson, so he was known as, his nickname was Matt. And there was a husband and wife team, Elliot and Ruth Handler. So it's a name. This is their two names, Matt and L. So Mattel. Anyway, so yes, Corgi Classics. So ultimately, Frank Hornby ended up with the enemy in a way, because it went through Hornby, Meccano, Triang, Matchbox, Mattel, and then to Hornby. So yeah, he ended up losing the dinky side of it, but gaining the Corgi side, ultimately. Strange. Anyway, so let's get on with this. This video will be too long otherwise. So on the left, we have what's known as okay, quick potted history. The Batmobile, in its very first issued in 1966 in October, was in a satin matte black finish. Now that's because Corgi had gone to the States to have a look at George Barris's creation, and it was in pre-production form, and it was painted in a satin matte black, partly due to the moulding and things, painting or whatever. Anyway, so Corgi produced the Batmobile in satin matte black. What they didn't realise is that was pre-production, and ultimately got painted in a satin gloss black. It wasn't pure gloss black because they were worried about the reflections of cast, crew and production and all that sort of stuff, so it's painted satin matte black finish, gloss black finish, sorry. So that was, Corgi then realised, oops, we've made a bit of an error. No, I don't know why, but they changed the paint then to a full gloss finish. Now, that was this one. This is the first iteration of that. The very first Batmobiles of satin, there was two versions. They're exactly the same as this one, except the paint, and the very first one had a see-through opaque aerial, slightly see-through. Then there was a second version that had a silver greyish painted aerial. They're known as version 1.1 and 1.2. Then, depending on what you read and what you understand and what you believe in, this then was produced in 1967. It could have been late December 66, but certainly from 67 onwards they are known to be the Batmobile, and this is version 2.1. Okay, and it came in different versions. Then ultimately, I'll give you a little history about that as we go on. So let's unbox it and we can have a look at the difference. Now, just to let you know, the reason the magazine is here, this is the 1966 magazine. This has been faithfully reproduced by Corgi Model Club, officially licensed reproduction, Corgi Toys Catalogue. And just to note, as you can see there, I'll zoom in for you on that one. There we go. As you can see, 1965. Now, I'm showing you that because the Batmobile is not in this catalogue, because this was produced in 1965 and the probably came out, I don't know, possibly sort of Christmas 65. Hopefully they were trying to catch the Christmas market, but certainly the Batmobile is not in that 1966 catalogue. It's in the 67 catalogue, but not this initial 66 catalogue. Because of the late issue, I mean, it was issued in, as I say, October 66, so there was lots of leaflets and flyers in toy shops and whatnot introducing the new Batmobile, and certainly the comics of the days and kids' comics and that certainly had adverts for them. But yeah, so it wasn't in the 1966 catalogue. As you can see there, the James Bond Aston Martin was new release in 65. Okay, so the Batmobile. Get my trusty letter opener. I don't like to open the flaps on these by hand. I like to just put something in there and ease them out. Look, and you don't bend the wings then. There we go. So let's unbox this one, and I'll show you what we have. Okay, a very nice reproduction of the original 66, late 66, early 67 Batmobile. Comes with the plinth stand, look. Nice packaging, look. They have a plastic thing in here to stop the car moving around, and a couple of blocks for packaging. So I'll remove them. Okay. Let's take this out of there. And as you can see, a very, very nice reproduction. The colours are very slightly different, you know. I mean, who's going to moan about the type of ink they move? On the original, that sort of purple around the Batmobile logo there was a bit darker. These look pretty good. Sides, all the wording's the same. All of that's correct and the same. Instructions. You may be able to see under the plinth there. I'm not going to get them out on this one. I'll show you on the next one. But you can see on the plinth there, we have the rockets in there in the dark red. So they were issued in dark red and a slightly orangey colour, a bit similar to the seats in the Batmobile in the first issues. Excuse me. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. Let's put that up there for now. Let's get this one out of the stand. There we go. Okay. Well, this is absolutely glorious reproduction of the original this type of Batmobile, the gloss black. Yeah, it does exactly the same as the original one. The wheels are a good homage to the original, even as the Corgi name on the tyres, like it originally had, Corgi Toys. Paintwork is beautiful, far superior than the original. The originals, don't forget, were not meant to be collector's toys, so you had mould flashing marks and different sort of artifacts that were on there, and the paintwork wasn't as brilliant as they are now. You could get some of it was a bit hit and miss, because they were kids' toys at the end of the day. Batman and Robin in here have been painted with a bit more care. Now, the original Batmobiles in 66, they were painted very well, the Batman and Robin figures. I do have a Silver Ariel Mark 1 66 Batmobile, and my Batman and Robin in there are pretty good. They're a little bit worn, but they were painted very well. And in the very early Batmobiles, Robin was bigger than the later Batmobiles, and he doesn't come out of the cockpit as they do on the other ones. In fact, I've got a broken window on mine. It's my older one, so I must have pulled Robin out and broke the window. That's generally what happens. Anyway, so this is the 1966. Quickly go through the details. Yep, we've got the rocket launcher. You'll hear it plink. There we go. We all lost our rockets. Who remembers using matchsticks? I certainly do. So, okay. Then you've got your radar, representing the radar, but there's also the push button for the chain cutter. So we have the chain cutter at the front, and the rockets, of course. And then, if you look closely, you can see the flame going in and out on the back end. So obviously, the faster you rolled it, the more it went out. Okay. Now, I don't suppose there's anybody stupid enough to advertise these as original, mint, brand new, 500 quid. Yeah, right. Well, unfortunately, there's a dead giveaway. First of all, it's a shame, but all the metalwork on the originals was gold. So the exhaust rocket exhaust, sorry, was gold. The button wheel here was gold. The radar button was gold, and the tyre slasher was gold. A bit like the wheels look, that sort of goldish coloured paint. And the dead giveaway on these, of course, is on the bottom there. As you can see, it says made in China. You say made in GT Britain there. And then, of course, there's the copyright flashing just there. You know, you can't get away from that. So yeah, riveted bottom still. So very nice and absolutely gorgeous. Second iteration of the Batman, that's is in blue, whereas the early first original ones were grey. I've got a grey Batman in mine and the larger Robin in a sort of satin finish Mark 1 Batmobile. My aura's broken off right down here, but you can still see the silver paint on the sprung loaded bit at the bottom, so that's how I know it's not a 1.1. Excuse me. I'm just getting over sort of a winter chest here, but anyway, so we'll just put that to one side a moment, and we'll get the other one. Now that is the offering from the Corgi Model Club. Now this one is from Hornby Hobbies. Now it's exactly the same as that one. We could call this version 2.2, or you can call, I think it's known as version 3, because it does have the attached hook. I'll give you a quick breakdown of why that happened. If I can get this out. Yep, there it comes. The packaging on this one's quite good. It's well packaged. It's in a self-contained plastic box within the mounting here. So I'll just show you. I'll take that out of there. Let's just pop that out the back there. Here we go, and we just lift up the lid, and we take out the Batmobile. Let's spread that open, and we lift it up, angle it so you can get the hook out. There we go. Let's pop that back in there. Okay, so we have the hook version. As we can see, it has the tow hook on the back here. Very nice. And yeah, this is like version 3, really. So the Saturn ones, Mark 1s, the first release in gloss, the Mark 2s, and then the tail hook version, the Mark 3s. They did go on to Mark 4s, if you like, because they had the plastic speedy wheels, super wheels, whiz wheels, whatever they were called, but the chrome. And then them were in 2 different types. You had an 8-spoke one, a 10-spoke one, and we could go on forever and ever, because, you know, this is 2.1, and you could have 2.1, A, B, C, D, E. Same as this one, 3.1, A, B, C, D. Because of the variations. You could get these with this sort of light blue windshield. You could get it in a blue, an aqua green, an aqua blue, a very slight purple tint, another different type of blue. There was quite a few variations of this windshield. So there and then, that means there are, you know, Mark 2.1, A, B, C, D. If you want to collect them all, you have to get all the different ones with the different coloured windscreens. And internally, orange seating, or orange with a very slight pinky purple tinge. So that's another version. So you could get, say, let's say there's 6 windshields, so you'd have to collect 6 windshields with the orange interior, then the 6 windshields with the pinky purple interior. So that's what I say, there are lots of variations of the Batmobile. Okay, let's go back to this one. So exactly the same. The little flame goes in and out on the back, even though they put the tow hook there. They still made it so it come out. Now, when they reissued some of the new plastic whiz wheels, speedy wheels, and the hook, the flame didn't go out anymore. It was locked off in the out position. It wasn't operated by the wheels anymore. Okay, so one of the things to tell you about this one was Can't remember, but I'm just going to bring this one back in a moment. When they issued this one, they also issued, I think there was 2 sets. You could get this with the Batboat, and you could also get it as a tri-set, and it was this, the Batboat, and the helicopter. I have the helicopter as well. I do have the Batcopter in my collection. And what they did, the trailer on the back of here was a special little plastic piece that would push on and fit onto the exhaust port there, and it had this little sort of lug sticking out with a square bit, and the ring of the trailer would hook onto it. So that's how they connected it. So they thought, okay, we're going to do away with that. We'll continue with the trailer, but we'll have a built-in hook. So hence the Batmobiles. And all Batmobiles from this point onwards had the built-in hook for the Batboat. The Batboat as well came in different versions. There was a plastic one with a metal wing and a plastic wing. I think there's different versions of the Batboat. So yeah, so there's your 2 versions of the current 1966 TV series Batmobile. Now, Corgi Model Club, I purchased this and this one direct from each one, but the Corgi Model Club does a subscriber model club. So with that, you pay £25 per month, with I think it's £3.50 postage, but send you a model on approval every month. It's pre-approval in a way. They send you an email to tell you which one's coming out, and you can say yay or nay. They do allow you to you don't have to buy every model that they produce. So when I get a notification that this one's the next one to be coming to my collection, I should just reply to the email. I said, no thanks, already purchased. It's in my, in my account history anyway. Anyway, waffling on here. So, this version, right. So imagine this in the satin matte black. Corgi Model Club are releasing it as a exclusive limited edition to subscribers only. If you're a member of the Corgi Collectors Model Club, then you will get a matte black version of this, which will be absolutely superb. So in my collection, I'll have the it'll be a Mark 1 reproduction, a Mark 1 original, a Mark 2 reproduction, and a Mark 3 reproduction. Excellent. I quite like that, and I can guarantee that my Batmobile is an untouched original example. You know, there's so many repops and claims on the internet. If you know what you're looking, you can tell the ones that have been refurbished and repopped. You know how to look for, what signs to look for, the rivets. Obviously, you need to know the production values. You need to understand which ones were issued with which, when, how, why. Anyway, my Batmobile collection extends to, I have a little 1/50th scale Hot Wheels, which goes in my little 1/50th scale Batcave. I have a limited edition Batcave sculpture that was made, and all the computers light up and little bits flash, and the atomic generator glows, and it's quite good. Anyway, so I have that. I have the original satin one. I've got these. Got the other one coming. I've got the 3 different versions of the Jada toys. They do a slightly bigger one on this. I think it's 1/32 scale Batmobile, a 1/24th scale Batmobile, and a big 1/18th scale Batmobile. They have the detail. Don't ask me why Corgi never put the red or orange, depending on which you were looking at, striping and detailing on their original Batmobile, but they didn't. And I'm sort of glad that Corgi haven't gone to that. They could release a version of that, possibly. That would be quite nice. But anyway, the Jada ones are good enough, and the Batman and Robin, which I have spare ones, they fit nicely in the Jada, small Jada version. They fit all right, actually. And then I have something that's very special. You may have heard of a company called Jazz Inc., who do 1/6 scale models. I have a 1/6 scale Batmobile. It's huge. It's monster. It's big, very, very big, and absolutely superb. And the other thing I did then was purchased the what are they called? Hot Toys 12-inch Batman and Robin, because they are 1/6 scale and they fit in it perfectly. It's got a external power supply, mains power supply, to make all the lights work. It's not batteries, which is great because you don't get batteries rotting away inside it. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, so there's my quick comparison of the Corgi Model Club Batmobile and the Hornby Hobbies Corgi Toys Batmobile. And as I say, CMC, the Corgi Model Club, if you are a subscriber, you will then also get the original Mark 1 satin finish. I don't know if it'll have the silver aerial like this or the opaque aerial, the slightly see-through one. That'd be nice. If it's a slightly see-through one, they've gone to great pains to copy that correctly. And yeah, you know, people moan about, well, yeah, hands up, I do. I moan about Chinese knockoffs about everything, but you know, the Chinese are very good at doing things if you tell them it's your specifications, you know, and these are made in China, but look at them. You'd think that was made by Corgi. If it didn't say made in China on the bottom, you'd think that was a Mark 1 original, sorry, Mark 2 original Batmobile. You know, if a faker could fake that and get rid of that, it would be very, very hard to tell the difference. Yeah, it's, well, yeah, the gold paint as well, that's missing. Oh, the gold paint, look, on the hook. There we go. That's what colour everything was. That sort of gold. Not quite as shiny as that, I suppose, but yeah. So that was gold, that was gold, that was gold. So they haven't reproduced that, which is a bit of a shame. But there's things like the depth of the wings at the back. You've got to know what you're looking for. The nose fills in the front, the depth of the cut in the bonnet for the there's different depths. It tells you roughly what years they were issued. There's a very, very good website that I use for reference. Lots of photographs, lots of detail, and history of the different ones. But yeah. Okay. I shall let you know and do a review on the satin finish one when it comes out. But for now, this is the BB Armourer signing off.